Hey, all. Tried making this video earlier, but had some guys come over and doing some work, so I did not get a chance to film this. I had to end my introduction here, so and then I had to go to work because they took up so much of my time. But I'm on break, so I'm gonna try to show what I gotta get shipped out here today because I had a very busy morning. On top of everything, sold a Stanley mug here. It is a Mickey Mouse with Louis Vuitton. Remember when everybody had to have these Stanley cups just a couple years ago? They are not worth what they were then. I picked this up. I probably overpaid for this on a New Year's Day auction I went to because I wasn't 100% positive if these were officially licensed, and they don't appear to be, but they definitely are official Stanley Cups. So when I listed this, Disney's a little bit more easy to get away with listing stuff that is not officially licensed. But Louis Vuitton is not quite so much. So I didn't even state that this was Louis Vuitton. I just said Mickey Mouse, Stanley tumbler, what size it was. I paid, I want to say $40 for this thing, just off of got kind of in the heat of the auction, and sold for $60. I thought these were still probably more like in the $80 range, but they're not. I think certain colors obviously are still going to make you a pretty good profit if you can get them at the right price. So all said and done, I'm probably making maybe $10 on that thing. But I'm definitely glad to get my original money back. And who knows, this may introduce somebody to my store and they may want to come buy some more stuff down the road. I sold a bowling pin here. This one I've had for quite a while here. My fingernails are filthy. That bowling pin sold for $5.90. This one's pretty funny. It says, "To heck with housework, let's go bowling." My son would agree with that. Another one of these 1999 Disney magnets. Peel that $25 or 25-cent price tag off the back. Like I said, this is a staple that's been selling in my store for about 2 years. I think I had over 20 of these, and it looks like I'm down to the last four after I've sold this one. This one sold for $3.08. I'd be kind of glad to get out of that business, but honestly, if I stumbled across them tomorrow, I would definitely pick them up. They don't take up much space. They're easy to pack and ship. And I've never had any complaints about the condition that they're in. Kappa Gamma Goodies cookbook. This is spiral bound from the 70s. This one's actually based out of here where we're at in Lakeland, Florida. Some college sorority, probably, I guess is what that one would have been. Sold for $5.55. Some of these books you can find do sell for good money. A lot of them are like really unique, like maybe like specialty books, like something into like Cajun food or Southern foods. Sold this DVD. This is another snap case. I'm selling a lot of these snap cases as of recent. This one is Alyssa Milano. Embrace the Vampire. I think she gets naked in this one. Might be why people want to watch that one for $9.99. The Beatles anthology sells very well. This is a double CD collection. Sold for $8.99. I, at the time, was the only person ever buying CDs at any of the auctions, except for the flea market sellers that just buys bulk stuff and puts it on a table for $1. And then this other guy, I guess, overheard me talking about what I sell certain CDs for. So now he started being my competition at paying up for CDs. He has a flea market, or no, he got an antique booth. I guess he sells everything out of. So anytime he sees anything with Beatles or Elvis or whatever, he pays. He's got to make sure he overbids me on it and cuts me out from buying those CD collections. And I really don't care because I've got a whole nother shed of CDs that I haven't even listed so I've got way more inventory than I really need to even be buying. So I don't care. But anytime I see, like that last week, there was this Beatles anthology CD in one of the sets of things, and he had to make sure he overpaid, and that was the one that he had to buy to make sure I didn't get it to make $8.99. He paid like $10 for the whole box. So I was like, that one obviously would pay it off, but I don't know what he sells his stuff for in his booth. So apparently, hopefully he's making money. I got this little police badge. I bought a bunch of these little mini police badges. These, I think, the ones that put on your collars and stuff like that. This one says police captain for the Tampa Police. It sold for $14.09. I think I just marked that down in price, so that's probably why it sold, because I had it listed for a while. And it's going to somebody in Utah again. I wonder if this is a repeat. No, because it doesn't say repeat buyer. I sold a bunch to another guy in Utah. Maybe there's people in Utah that like to collect these badges, because like I think only out of all of these that I've sold so far, only one has stayed here in the Florida area, and I think all the other ones have gone to like Utah, or I think one even went over international. I don't know what the story is with that and why that is. This Sunday we went to an auction, and I wanted this DVD set because I've sold this CD or DVD set before in the past for a decent amount of money, and the guy ended up throwing in all this other garbage I didn't want. I just wanted this, but I only paid $5 or $5 or $10. I listed it and it sold right away for $34.99. So and this one's sealed. He was trying to say, oh, it's worth like $100. There are people that have this listed for $100, but I've never seen any sold anywhere near that price. I've picked this up a couple times at yard sales for like $1 or $2. Unsealed copies obviously are going to sell a lot less than a sealed copy, so you're still looking at like $1 into $15. It's going to sell within a month of being listed. If you price it right, and then like this being sealed obviously gives it a little bit of a higher demand, so this sold for $34.99. I think the cheapest one I saw sealed at the time was at $40 or $45 actively listed, so I listed mine obviously $5 less than that, so that mine would be the first one to sell, and it did within 2 days of listing. Funny thing is it was sitting listed for 3 days, and then the exact moment I put it away, updated my SKU system, it sold. Which is like, man, why couldn't it have sold 2 minutes earlier before I put it away? I actually put it away. I came back, refreshed my screen after having updated my SKU where I put it, and I'm like, that's weird. And then I got the little cha-ching notification. This is a copy of Time Life books. Always want to look for this little Time Life. Anything Time Life. CDs, DVDs, books. If it's Time Life, and you're going to want to look into it. It's going to sell great for you, even if it is just a single book or a single CD. Or if you, obviously a lot of this Time Life stuff was collections. Multiple volumes, because they would sell you the whole Time Life collection type stuff. Was like they get you on hook to buy multiple, so you get this book for free, and then each month we'll send you another copy in the volume for up to a year, or however many it was in the whole collection. But it's like way higher than the introductory Sometimes it may be like a penny, like Columbia House would do, or sometimes it would be like half price. So say this book was $10, they'd sell you this book for $5, but then you have to buy you want to get all the other 11 books in the series for $12.99 or something like that. But this is the Battle of the Bulge, World War II. It is a picture book, so there's a lot of like photographs and stuff like this. This came from the storage unit with all the all the war books. And like I said, this is one of the few books that actually looked like it had a little bit of value. Sold for $14.99. Again, I pennies into it out of that storage unit. So this is just easy money. It sold quick. Sold a DVD called Mind the Gap. It is an ex-rental. So I think whenever I discovered this, I couldn't find anything about this DVD. It has been listed probably for 3 or 4 years. So I'm quite surprised. I guess somebody finally found it. And it sold for $2.02. So this is probably something I started out at like $5.99 or $6.99. It's one of those experiment DVDs. I sold a pair of brakes that I cannot find because they are not where they are supposed to be. I sold, hold on, grab my other items here. Alright, got all of this stuff. I went to go clean my bench off, or not my bench, but my other bench over here. So I need to put all this stuff away that's been photographed, and I got halfway through it and then gave up. I got to get back to putting all this stuff away. I sold a button here. This is Atlanta Braves button. This is like 92 probably, I want to say. Sold for $2.46. Oh man, I got a lot of stuff just real cheap selling. One of these things I found a long time ago. These are Cadillac emblem golf balls. I bought like 4 or 5 of these a few years ago. Actually, you probably see me in one of our friend Rally Roots YouTube channel. You'll see me at the yard sale where I ran into them, and I bought these at that same yard sale. I can't remember what he bought. Jen and Allie were chit-chatting, and me and Ryan were out picking the yard sale at a trailer court up the road where we used to live in Riverview. The other 3 boxes sold right away, but this box has been lingering around that long. Finally sold for $9.18. Guess it finally got down to a price that somebody wanted to buy them. Oh, I PO'd a guy the other day about this. So Jen listed this. It's a 10 litho Marks, just like a cabin. I guess you'd probably do your little plastic cowboy and Indian playset thing. It's pretty good condition considering a lot of this 10 litho stuff is starting to show a little bit of rust right here. And it is missing the chimney that would have been here, but everything else looks pretty decent. But this guy was wanting to know, well, I need better pictures of this. Your pictures are not good enough. And I was like, my pictures look fine. He's like, well, I need to know if there's any imperfections and fading and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I just never got around. I was like, I got too much going on to even entertain this guy. And then I guess I must have sent out a bunch of offers, and then he hit me up and said, well, I'm no longer interested in it. Your offer was only like $2 less than what you're selling it for, which I sold it for my full asking price of $24.99. So it definitely sold to somebody that wasn't him. But he says he was no longer interested. I was like, well, I can't control who eBay sends my offers out to, so... Uh-oh, Barney don't work no more. I think he did work though. He says, I love you, you love me, blah, 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 blah. 2013 Barney sold for $8.09. Or maybe the batteries do work. I don't know. Maybe I didn't squeeze it correctly. And finally, I sold E.T. This is the 20th anniversary DVD collection. Sold for $4.49. So that's everything I got to get packed up here today. I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items. Because I'm filming this at about 7 o'clock at night right now. Already to go out for tomorrow, but I do need to get this packed up tonight. So maybe after I get off work tonight, I will come in here and get this packed up just to get the labels printed out. So keep hustling, everyone. It doesn't end.